Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 21st of November. So looking at the euro dollar, and well, yesterday we managed a rally to fill the gaps that were showing on many brokers. It finally closed down and down on the day overall below the opening gap. It's now rallying back towards the weekly pivot. Is there any hope for the upside? Well, possibly. It's a messy old position. However, I mean, you look at it on a daily aspect, and it really, with these long tails at the top here, to me, it's suggesting we just can't hold on to its gains. It's weak, so the weakness would maybe prevail. Looking at where we are now, just short of the daily pivot, there's a potential for it to run up to that, maybe even the 50 there. Maybe looking for short positions from there. I'm already on a swing short from last week. I'm looking maybe to add into that, or just intraday trade it short as we did yesterday in the room. So looking for the potential short side again, but need to watch this post 8 o'clock. Now the pound, moving on to the pound if I can. There we go. Pound is a bit of a different animal, and start from the dailies here. Now you would have almost expected it to be selling off with all the news etc that's going around, and quite a lot of it's still negative on Brexit, of course. What would we expect from the BBC? Nothing else, but it is holding its own, and looking like, if anything, higher lows, higher highs. It's on a trend out of this sort of previous move, a more bullish move. Now, I said, and I will be saying in the weekly outlook, in terms of this trend range, this is really what we'd be looking at. These previous highs here, it's around about 33.20, and a little bit higher there, 33.40ish. The next sort of key points, if it was provided we get past yesterday's highs, of course. But as I said, it has started this sort of move towards the upside. The uncertainty with the euros probably helped the pound somewhat, as money is moving our way. Okay, as the pound, and looking at the shorter time frames here, what do we look for? Well, hasn't caught its daily pivot, which is below us yet, which I'd prefer to see. We'll watch carefully post 8 o'clock to see if we continue in this upside. It wasn't a major surprise that we had a little bit of a rollover yesterday afternoon there, or yesterday late morning I should say. Could just see the same sort of thing happen. If it rallies straight into this morning's highs, well, it may just not be a stop for it, and I'd rather be on the long side at the moment than the short side, but where we're sitting, I need to be at a more favourable price. So I would wait for that. Dollar yen. So dollar yen starting to make more headway to the downside marginally this morning. Yesterday it took a total bounce off the monthly S1 there. It's really showing the potential. It's caught its weekly pivot. I was talking about this yesterday morning. Now that and since then, well, a lower high came in there. It's no divergence or anything on those highs. The daily pivot's just below us now. It'll be an interesting point here. Are we going to continue in the move to the upside there? Is it going to push this way? Is this going to provide support, or is this support underneath? Now, for me, I'd rather see it comes down to these levels and make a judgment from there before I did anything with it. If it starts pushing up this morning, well, all well and good. May have missed it, but looking for a movement from this level here. If it starts breaking, well, the answer may be that it's continued to the downside. If it finds support of these levels and then breaks, what was the trend there? I'm going to be looking for small retracements to get long and try and trade it back up again. So that's what I'm looking at the dollar yen at the moment. I do realise, of course, that this intermediate time frame, the trend is very much to the downside, so got to be a bit careful with it. But I'm just not too sure whether it's finished or not. And so, as I say, if it's pushing up and trending up, I mean, there's still some signs of it actually looking like it wants to push up, but we'll see. Okay, Aussie dollar. Well, the FOMC minutes, the Reserve Bank of Australian interest rate meeting minutes were out during the Asian session there. Nothing majorly negative within those, although it did sell off. Now I'm still looking at the potential to get back to the weekly, but it is so weak at the moment. The only possibility and the only time I really would be starting to look at that properly is if we start breaking through the 100, try and get above this daily pivot here, and then it gives us a possibility. I can't see a lot of other signals there. I keep coming back to these more minor divergence maybe into these lows. So there is something there on the 4-hourlies, and well, no, from a daily point of view, it still looks really quite negative. So there's a tracer there potentially, but we do need to start building on that for me to be interested in looking for that weekly pivot sort of a target and maybe a bit more. But at the moment, I'd rather see that and sell into it. Okay, Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar pitched up on a more positive note yesterday. It is struggling. It is hand railing this trend line that was from the previous lows there and running across there. It's been hand railing that and caught in between its regression channel. I feel like taking this off only because I know a couple of guys are long on it. Now it has the potential to push up towards that 200 and continue softening. Oil's held it to a certain degree. Where we're sitting at the moment, higher lows, higher highs, still running through that 4-hourly time frame. Not quite got down to this daily pivot today. It's bouncing from its 21s at the moment. Maybe we're just going to see a continuation of this move straight away. It's not clear. There's no opportunity to join it at the moment from my point of view. As I said, I'd rather wait post 8 o'clock, see if it just does have a little retrace back to the pivot. If it doesn't, well, it's probably going to be going without me. That's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, I should just mention that, we got the Reserve Bank of Australia and Governor speaking at 9:05 this morning. We've got inflation report hearings coming through at 10 for the UK. And that's pretty much it. Fed Chair Yellen is speaking at 11 p.m. UK time, due to participate in a panel discussion titled "In Conversation with Mervyn King." Okay, that's going to be a fantastically non-mover. Right, have a great week. Great day. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.